Chat, here we go. It's Nush versus DrKnown in a best of 5. A little impromptu matchup between the teammates of Vision. Only wait, they're not in Vision. Is there news that I have yet to find out about Nush and DrKnown? A couple Prodigies up and coming in the Middle East region. If you haven't heard of them before, then you haven't been watching the Twitch stream where we follow their RLCS team, Nush, DrKnown, and Ops. And Nush is currently top 10 rated in 1v1. DrKnown is not a bad 1v1er himself. In fact, he came onto the 1v1 scene a little bit earlier than Nush did and got some solid wins. Played in a next gen that I don't think Nush ever did. As far as I'm aware, I can't remember if Nush, I think Nush maybe wasn't around yet. Nush is going to read this fake kickoff to perfection though and chip a shot over the top to make it 2-0. Nush comes in as the favorite for sure. I don't know if the prediction was brought up. I think the mods did have it going. Yeah, 80% in favor of Nush. I do think that's probably accurate. If maybe a slight bit high, but Nush, heavy favorites in this matchup for a 3-0 or a 3-1. Just because we haven't really seen DrKnown grinding ones like Nush has. Now, these two actually clash in a very interesting, battle of styles. Nush, very aerial focused, likes to play with speed, likes to, attack off the side walls and back walls. DrKnown, very defensive, very safe, more of a, ground and flick type player, like you'll see out of a Moxie of sorts, or a Khaled is who he often got comparisons to. Nush trying to go for the Diaz dribble, which should basically just be named the Diaz dribble, and he proves to not be as good as Diaz at it, as he loses the ball near the goal line, and DrKnown gets the save and the counter. Face cam, yeah, I don't know if the meta is to turn on face cam during the show matches just yet. I will be ready to switch over to the meta if it does happen, but for now, I think we're probably going to stay video camer off for the show matches. Nush. Quick back to this ball to get the finish. You know if Team Rock is staying together? I don't really know any insider information when it comes to roster changes and whatnot. In fact, I would have told you that they were still on Vision, and yet when I hit tab, you'll notice they're not in the Vision clan anymore, which I know they were at one point. So maybe they're not a part of Vision. I know that Vision basically dropped the coach, Idris. Idris wanted to stay. The players, I think, wanted him to stay as well, but Vision didn't want to maybe pay for the coach or something. But now to see the players also not on Vision makes me wonder what I saw, maybe they're just out of the clan and they're still on the team. That would maybe be the simplest explanation. These guys definitely getting more involved in the aerial game. DrKnown trying to go for a double reset. Nush trying to slam a ball into the ceiling to make a play off of. Either one of them finding much success against each other with it, though. As Nush taking on the difficult task of protecting the ball all the way down to the ground when you have control on the sidewall. And now it's going to get demoed. DrKnown into the air. 50. Oh, what a perfect 50. And he actually missed the wave dash touch. Fortunately, he touched it soft enough that it didn't matter. But this was an immaculate 50 on the challenge. And then got a little lost on the wave dash. You'd still like to see Snowmen versus Team Rock. I think that we'll not really ever see that until it's on fair servers. I talked to Snowmen a little bit. They'd basically have to go play on EU servers. And I think some of them get like 120 plus ping. It can be pretty bad. So it would be very unfair. Threes matches on high ping are not like ones matches on high ping where, sometimes the best players can kind of make it work and pull it off. In practice, it's proven to be a much bigger disadvantage for a threes team. Really just the more you add players. Reveal is in Arizona? Yeah, ain't no way. If Reveal is actually in Arizona and playing out of Arizona, he'd be on like 180 ping. DrKnown up 5-3, by the way. Looking to prove that he is back in the ones game. I did see him enter the top 100, so I know he's at least been grinding a bit of ranked. Maybe he hasn't been grinding enough to push his rating all the way up to the levels of Nush, who I think is like top 10. But clearly he's showing he's more than capable once again. Nush trying to set up a flick. DrKnown challenged well enough that Nush could not pull out of it and win that 50 like he wanted to. With a minute left to go, it's looking like DrKnown, despite my talk of him coming in as the underdog, seems to be in control of the series ever since the first few for Nush. It's been many minutes that have favored DrKnown. As Nush going to go double jump bump. He already saved it himself, though, so it's not going to matter. Nice use of the power slide after landing sideways in net. It's actually got him back on the ball. DrKnown trying to challenge early. Nush wanted to correct back down to the ground, but DrKnown did a good job of stopping that as well. This ball is not really a ball that makes sense to go to the ceiling for, and yet Nush still almost scored by doing so after getting back down and going for a 50, but the defense and counterattack game has been too strong for the Doctor. As we know, doctors have superpowers here on this stream. Since I'm married to Dr. Feer, we've got DrKnown, we've got Dr. Ali, we've got Dr. Ufinho. Many doctors. All of them have great success on the channel. Nush faking the flick. Right now he has clearly not been able to find an answer to DrKnown's defense. He's had a few, if not many, possessions with DrKnown set up in net. An opportunity for Nush to set up whatever he wants, but he cannot break through, and he wants to go EU server. So we might be going back and forth between Middle East and EU, assuming DrKnown wants Middle East that bad. Oh, perfect 88 for both of them. So not too bad here on the EU servers. We might just run out EU servers the rest of the way. We shall see how much this favors Nush, as it looks like he'll be scoring first within 7 seconds of being on an EU server. Aren't they both in MENA? If this is your first time watching the Middle East guys play, it is natural to wonder why you would ever play on an away server intentionally. But it is very common amongst the Saudi players to want to play on EU servers, even when playing against other Saudi players, and you'd have to discuss with them exactly why. I'm guessing the EU servers are a bit more consistent despite being higher ping than the Middle East ones. So they'd rather take 80 ping but less jumps here and there. That's just me speculating, as DrKnown is going to score through the air himself. He heard the talk about Nush being the guy who likes to play off the wall, but DrKnown, nice air dribble into reset to put this over the top of Nush. Nush trying to go for a dribble that requires about 150 boost, and he's trying to do it with 13. And it's not going to pay off. DrKnown somehow did not score there, as he's going to try and shift the field again. This time too quickly. No boost respawn for him to steal, so he'll head back to his corner. Now DrKnown. A big pop at the end of his dribble to keep the dribble going. Nush, nice demo. As DrKnown was staring at a wide open net. And Nush actually didn't collect this dribble quick enough to actually even have an advantage. DrKnown picks up 100 after the respawn, gets back on the ball, and I would say advantage was him shortly after the demo. And he'll play a bit of keep away to take a 2-1 lead on EU servers. Nush sending this one to the back wall. It's all the way has ceiling height. Ends up getting a demo here. He landed so early, short of the net. DrKnown thought about challenging there, decided to shadow. Nush flips one more touch, and actually think it's going to be a goal either way, because Nush gets a demo, but he wasn't ahead of the ball. So if DrKnown had made the right play, he would have saved the ball and then gotten demoed maybe. But the demo adds insult to injury, as Nush going to have a really convenient setup. DrKnown gave it to him. The ball bouncing off the side wall to perfection, but Nush needs to clean up his wall to air dribble game. Maybe put a little curse on him by hyping it up early at the start of this series. DrKnown hasn't really been stressed or put to the test too much on defense when playing against those. DrKnown very likely to dribble off that bounce. That's why you see Nush doing that single jump. That single jump only turned into a wave dash when he noticed DrKnown wasn't going to air dribble. That single jump was preparation to pre-jump, essentially, the aerial game that DrKnown decided against. Lean back into a reset. The flip is over the top of Nush, and Nush going to drop him a nice one. And it seemed like Nush gave up on the fact that DrKnown could get this, because he turned in field like he was not going to get back to the ball. But DrKnown did so. He dropped a miss? Wait, I don't even know what he means by that. Nice, thanks one miss. Huh. Maybe chat understands. Oh, miss quick chat. Oh, gotcha. Did he give himself a nice shot? I guess that makes sense. That didn't even faze me. Calling himself... calling his own shot nice shot was just like, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a nice shot. I didn't even think about the fact that he's complimenting his own shot. DrKnown with the takeaway. (5-2) as DrKnown proving that his ones game is back now that he's been able to work on it a bit. As he gets the reset, Musty, it'll be denied. Nush has a chance on an open net here. Couldn't quite score it. DrKnown clearing it away. And Nush, I think, yeah, needed to be aggressive on the ball with a huge advantage. Last thing he wants is DrKnown to get a dribble going. Oh my goodness, what an interception. A pre-jump by DrKnown perfectly takes the shot away from Nush, which was a very strong shot. And a pretty decent risk by DrKnown, but he's living in the future defensively. And Nush, this is actually a great shot from him, but it's a bit wide. DrKnown, save into the crossbar. The defensive maneuvering from DrKnown has been absurd. I understand why Nush's offense seems frustrated, having to play against this guy on defense. DrKnown, I think he was hoping for a miss there, like this one from Nush, and then being able to turn in, but didn't really work as well on the second attempt to wait for a miss. Nush, chance on net, still denied. DrKnown has completely stifled Nush's offense, and now he's going to try and flex a little bit back the other way. DrKnown on fire. He's been playing pretty much out of the blue half, making great saves and then attacking quickly. And the thing is, Nush has not been able to set up in net the same way DrKnown has, because they're always happening as a turnaround from a defensive play, as opposed to, you know, an established possession where Nush has time to set up in net. Nush going to try and go for the Diaz dribble all the way from the back wall. DrKnown with ceiling height. Nush has a really tough angle, and yet DrKnown still stops it. I can't believe Nush found the angle, but so did DrKnown, and he is not going to let any momentum get going for Nush. Well, there will be one more goal. One more goal. DrKnown proving me very wrong here about who came into this one as the favorites. Or I guess I can't really be wrong about being the favorite, but he's definitely proving that his ones game is back. I don't take back that Nush came in as a favorite. This has just been a great performance from DrKnown. Game number 3, DrKnown and Nush. Wave dash kickoff for Nush. Ball is behind the midfield line, though, so he's not going to be able to attack off the wall. Instead, he'll take it on the ground. He wants an air dribble bump. DrKnown actually survived it, but did not stop the ball from going in. Nush looking to go to old, reliable strategies in order to find a way to score on DrKnown. DrKnown fell in front of the ball here, so it looked like he was going to try and catch and cut it away. Even thought about a demo as a way to try and salvage the poor attempt. Oh my goodness, DrKnown able to stop Nush, who goes to the ground. He just sent him flying. DrKnown, quick recovery, cannot make the save. DrKnown going to drop the nice one as he almost found his way back. Nush caught him right before he landed, which sent him flying much farther than he otherwise would have. Those wheels do a great job. I should say tires do a great job of keeping you stagnant. Nush off the bounce. Another air dribble bump. DrKnown not going to be able to stop it. A nice little high five between the two of them will secure the goal. DrKnown reset at around ceiling heights and went for the pogo in a position that seemed a bit greedy. Nush will be able to easily roll in a goal. You got to be a little bit more underneath the ball if you want to be able to pogo like that. And as far back as DrKnown was, probably wasn't the wisest idea to go for it, but who am I here on this channel to try and discourage anyone from throwing as many pogos in their game as possible. Nush, wait a second. I went back to his POV not realizing he was about to score. I thought this ball was just floating in the air. He got bumped to the ceiling, landed, and quickly recovered to the ball and took a strong shot. DrKnown slowed it down a little, but couldn't stop it. What a turnaround and game number 3 from Nush so far. He now has a 5-0 lead, about to make it 6-0 on the kickoff. It is just a complete shutdown. And it's not just because of the EU servers. DrKnown winning that EU server game number 2. But all of a sudden, having a tough time here against Nush. A demo, and DrKnown should be able to get on the board now. He's going to go for the backboard double. My goodness, DrKnown. You know, I said he should be able to get on the board, but after the Nush respawn, he was in the right spot to save any sort of normal shot. DrKnown instead went for the backboard double. He's going to have to get quite a run going. It has, you know, been only 2 minutes or even less than 2 minutes to get this 6-0 lead, so DrKnown does have time to bring it back. It can be hard to mentally, you know, stay in and shift a game like this one. But DrKnown seems willing to try. Oh my goodness, DrKnown, what a save. He put a little bit more pace on that to get it over the crossbar. Otherwise, I think Nush had it on target. DrKnown, the tight angle. Nush will help him. It'll be 6-2. The comeback has seemingly started even before the halfway mark of the game. Nush didn't get the best read as he went to the side wall. DrKnown pops it straight up in the air in order to get Nush to miss, but does not return to the ground early enough to shoot. He's got a midfield possession now. Will take it to the air, leaning back for a reset. Used the tail end of his car to try and get over the top of Nush and just barely wasn't able to. Nush maybe going for a psycho. Interesting reset touch as he landed towards the ground in order to have a quick dash. And then he went way too all in here and will get punished. I mean, really wasn't too much of an all-in play. It's fine to go for that shot, but you can't completely miss. Otherwise, you're definitely getting countered. Nush. Nice flick. Single jump does not flick immediately. Just rotates underneath the ball before slotting it top left, making sure DrKnown had already committed up to stop the first flick. DrKnown, kickoff win. Just gonna throw a shot straight at net to start testing Nush. See if he can get him with an extended attack. The reset off the back wall is not gonna connect. And Nush is gonna have possession. Early use of the flip. Popping this one. Tried to go for a bump. DrKnown was already clean out of the way. Google Maps R Us. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Huge W. As DrKnown trying to get a huge W himself. After letting in 6 goals, he's now up 4-1. And he still has a decent amount of time to get 3 more. Nush in control of possession. He loves these flicks where he puts that tail end of his car down onto the ground and cancels the flick. DrKnown double reset. Oh my goodness, DrKnown. Although I think it is a team play. Nush might have finished it off here after it tapped off the crossbar. But a nasty double reset from the doctor, and Nush is there to guarantee it's a goal. 1:09 left to go. And DrKnown would be making a historic comeback if he could bring back a 6-goal deficit. He's spotting Nush quite a bit here, as Nush is going to go to the ground. DrKnown showing no intention of challenging Nush early. And Nush bounced the ball over the top of the backboard. Not really the end of the world. What Nush needs to do right now is never go all in. So as long as he feels like he's still in control of the ball, no reason to take a shot, although he is going to lose a clean possession over to DrKnown, who is looking to get mechy here in a way to bring back the game. And another one of those 50s where he gets a reset. But this time, Nush doesn't go flying by. 30 seconds, and now DrKnown is running out of time. He's going to get really aggressive on this challenge. Can he dunk it in? He can! DrKnown, with the game on the line, needs a goal and needs it soon, and goes for one of the crazy aggressive challenges I've ever seen, and has a quick recovery on the back wall to guarantee it falls into the net. 24 seconds, and DrKnown needs a kickoff win to try and tie it up to go to overtime. Nush and DrKnown both going to go to the wave dash kickoff. DrKnown on ball with very little boost. Wants a low 50, isn't going to be able to pick up the back corner either, so he's going to have to try and muscle it in with 0, which is near impossible to do. And Nush likely securing game 3 with this defensive stand. All came from the kickoff win that got him the boost control and never allowed DrKnown a real chance at scoring quickly. And a delayed kickoff from DrKnown in an attempt to try and get a quick, cheesy one to bring him back within 1. It's not going to happen. DrKnown denied. And Nush will take a game. It will not be a sweep as we head to game number 4. Game number 4. Nush on the bounce back. Although I should actually say it feels like DrKnown has momentum after the end of that game. Nush had a 6-0 lead. Since then, DrKnown has had a much better performance. If he can just continue that into game 4, it should end the game. There's been so many of these 50s that DrKnown has been able to glue to the ground. A previous one in the air wasn't necessarily glued to the ground, but it was glued directly in its current position and just fell to the ground with ease. And now DrKnown going to make it 2-0. Yeah, I haven't been tweeting as much about show matches. I need to remember to. This time we were actually watching, Nawis's show match first. And this one kind of just happened quickly and naturally, so no tweet about it, but Twitch notifications are okay. Twitter notifications are a little bit better. Pre-jump from DrKnown as he floats in the air. Nush, recognizing that, just goes to get a reset and tap it around DrKnown, who could not adjust enough in time. Nush, what a powerful touch off the side wall. A little bit too much, though. And he actually overdid it, fortunately for him. DrKnown is going to pay back an own goal that Nush had earlier, where he got ahead of the read and tapped it back on target. DrKnown is going to be the one to pin it and keep it around net. Nush into the air, around ceiling height. DrKnown waiting on the goal line, not going to be able to make this save. So far, matchups like this between these two have been going in DrKnown's favor. He's been getting saves and countering, but that was a great finish from Nush. High, even if DrKnown does get the save at around top shelf heights. It probably will allow for Nush to have some time to recover. Kickoff win for Nush. Gonna make it 4-2. He is trying to bring this one all the way down to the wire. DrKnown catching the clear of Nush, trying to cut it on that near post to catch Nush over rotating. He is going to intercept a pop-up from DrKnown. A goal line 50. Somehow DrKnown saves it. It's a what a save from Nush for good reason. Oh, no. Nush killed him with kindness after the most absurd save of all time. Dropped him a what a save, and then DrKnown just leaves the ball wide open. And Nush will take advantage. Nush, did he get a reset as he slammed that ball? Oh my goodness, off the corner. I think he did, because he wave dash as he went to the ground. Nush now at ceiling height with a reset. Ooh, he tried to get that top shelf, and if he had, it would have been a goal, but it fell a bit low. Allowed DrKnown to get the save. Nush denying the clear from DrKnown, keeping it around the net. He doesn't really have any boosts left over, so I'm not sure what the plan was after slamming the ball into the ceiling, using the last bit of boost that he had. Doesn't seem like there's any chance he follows that up. Maybe he was hoping DrKnown gets lost a bit and he gets a chance to go steal opposite corner boost, but that's not the way it worked out. DrKnown took the ball away and is now within 2. DrKnown leaning back for a reset and pinning it into the crossbar. Nush giving himself a nice one, thanks, after he once again own goals a shot for DrKnown that was not headed in. It was headed straight down and then probably bouncing out. But Nush helps it. Now the game within 1. Nush trying to pull off his chip after DrKnown challenges quickly. That flick not enough to get the ball popped up in the air. DrKnown no connection on the demo, so Nush actually going to take this one on the ground. You see DrKnown jumping. I think that's in preparation to deal with a Nush air dribble, because in these situations earlier, Nush was taking the ball up in the air. You see DrKnown backflipping immediately out of his pre-jump once he notices that Nush is catching the ball, but even that wasn't quite enough to put him out of position to defend, and he ended up kind of panicking in a way to adjust for that and couldn't make contact with the ball. Nush with 22 boosts gets got by the fake challenge, enough to flick the ball early, and then forced into the follow-up to play keep away. Couldn't keep it underneath the crossbar. To balance between the speed to get back to the ball, make sure the defender doesn't get there, and also, you know, slowing down enough to not overshoot it. But players are always going to prioritize the defender not touching the ball. That seems the most important, especially when you already have the lead like Nush does. DrKnown losing control of this aerial. Quickly able to earn said control right back. Did he just miss the long shots? He did. The bounce is still in front of the net, though. So DrKnown will be able to follow it up. And within one with a minute 14. DrKnown with a boost grab. A flip out to himself to set up the hook shot. An incredibly powerful hook shot. Nush saves it by going back wall and approaching down. A demo and a follow-up shot for the Doctor. And he is back to a tied game. Could be a couple goals away from securing the series and the upset a little bit. Nush, wave dash kickoff to front flip. And he has definitely had a few more of these direct kickoff goals than DrKnown has. At least ones that I've been noticing and remembering. Little hug at the midfield on the wave dash kickoff. DrKnown with the backflip to try and reduce the damage, but he is still in big trouble. What a save from DrKnown. I cannot believe he got down to send that one on the ground. Nush is going to give him the what a save as well. We're seeing this challenge yet again. DrKnown, I always feel like, is going to have a tough time trying to make something happen, challenging high in the corner, and yet previously he got a goal from it. This time he has almost been able to take the ball away from Nush. He does have the boost advantage for 26 seconds. Nush is going to have to relinquish control here eventually. No way he holds on to it, and now is the moment that DrKnown has his chance. Pass to the ceiling into a reset. The flip is in! DrKnown not afraid to go for something mechy in the final moments as he slams it into the ceiling for a double that's perfectly earns him a reset and uses that flip to go underneath Nush. 7-7 with 16 seconds left to go. DrKnown trying not to play a game 5 against his teammate. Nush in full control though. Boost advantage for him now. He just shoots immediately. DrKnown's going to make the first save. Does Nush have the follow-up? DrKnown resting on the inside of the net in an attempt to make a play. Nush wants to go to the other side of the net. He can't keep it up. It will hit ground. Overtime in game 4. Nush trying to force game 5. Nush forcing game 5. Before I can even talk about it, it's game 5. It is indeed game 5. Nush has done it off the back of a kickoff. He has had the kickoff advantage for sure against DrKnown. And now we got one more game to play. Game number 5, DrKnown and Nush. DrKnown out to the early lead. Up 2-0 against Nush. Has not been able to hold on to said lead. As Nush, the higher rated ones player, has brought it back to a game 5. And DrKnown, the way he's been playing defensively, I almost expected him to save this. Even though he's making these saves so late on the goal line, he's found a way to get them out past the post, but this time he does not. This time he helps it in. And the 1-0 lead for Nush will start game 5. Nush spinning behind the ball for a 50. DrKnown seemed like he didn't want to take the aerial. Thought he was going to be able to get back down to the ground, but notices that Nush is chain dashing at him, so he does catch the ball on its way down into an air dribble. Can't quite convert it into a goal. It should have an open net now. Can Nush get back to it? No. Nush delay, kickoff slightly on his wave dash. Does end up pushing the ball into the blue half, but he got really greedy staying on it. And now DrKnown actually missed his chance at an undefended net, but could still keep this possession going. He has been really good at turning any setup into an air dribble. I have to give DrKnown his flowers on that. Not all of these balls are set up in the perfect position to turn them into air dribbles, whether it's because he's having to mistime them because of a Nush challenge, or if it's, you know, a touch from Nush that isn't the best setup. DrKnown seems to have no issue at all turning it into an air dribble attack. And Nush overshoots the read, but actually the ball's going to roll with enough pace that it is not an immediate goal. Nush does stand a chance in and out of the net, but DrKnown, the reset shot, goes bottom right to make it 3-1. While DrKnown takes a trip for some boost, Nush is going to accept his free goal. Picking up the midfield 100 and diving into his defensive half. Wasn't even that tough of a collection, I would say, for a guy like Nush. Nush, another kickoff win. That has been a big part of his comeback here, and DrKnown will make the first save, but not the next, as it finds its way into the bottom right. DrKnown, right at the last second, turned his car back up high to stop a potential shot through the air and couldn't readjust back low. DrKnown has to tap this one up to buy himself a bit of time, not allow Nush an easy carry off the wall after winning the race to the corner boost. Nush will still get possession though. His double jump bumped, converts on a goal. Didn't get DrKnown. DrKnown drops a whoops. I wonder if he felt like he should have made this save. He did get around. I was about to combine around and underneath the bump, but doing so killed his upward momentum enough that he couldn't get enough back to make an actual save. This match has turned out to be very exciting and close. Great job by Nawis arranging it. Believe it or not, I do arrange some of my own matches. In fact, I didn't even arrange it. I'll be honest. Nush and DrKnown arranged it. They said, hey, Feer, we want to play. And I said, okay, sure. Nush out of the back corner. That flip was not it, so he's going to have to bail on that dribble. But he can't double jump this one up. Interesting touch. Was that actually the touch DrKnown was going for? Or was he trying to do a much more controlling roll up the side wall? He just chipped it away. It's hard to defend the ball that high above you. And Nush proves it by taking it away. Okay, so you didn't arrange it? Okay, you're right, I didn't. Great job today by the MENA community. Yes, that I can agree with. DrKnown flipping into a reset without really much purpose as far as scoring. You could tell there was never going to be a way to get an angle to shoot, but at least his reset allowed him to play keep away for a moment. Nush is still going to get possession though. As Nush up 2 in this final game. Minute 45 left to go. Little chain dashing before collecting the ball. Nush doesn't like the setup. He's going to go reset it. And he's going to have a tough time staying in control of this possession. Seems like he might not even try. He's just going to let DrKnown take one at nets. Bump attempt on the first try doesn't work, but the follow-up one does. Nush now starved out. DrKnown in great position to get this a 1-goal game. And he does so with a flick as Nush overshoots, picking up a pad and trying to get back into net. Great placement from the Doctor. Wave dash kickoff for Nush. Perfect sidewall setup for a wall to air dribble to open this possession. DrKnown transitioning to the ground, back down, and then in and out of the net to make the save. Doing such a good job of staying moving in defense that Nush feels like there's no place to break through, and he ends up waiting and going for a longer extended attack, waiting for the moment. The moment never comes, and then DrKnown steals the ball away and ties up the game. DrKnown using his wave dash to push Nush away from the ball, and now gonna have to tap this one away. Overshot that side flip. He was trying to cut off the ball as Nush put it to the side wall, but he ended up putting himself past the play and then couldn't get back. He was hoping to help encourage the ball and roll it into a worse position for Nush to buy himself more time, but it did not work. Nush now with a goal lead. Under a minute left to go. I imagine he'll play these air dribbles a little bit safer. He's actually attacking this ball from above to get the reset. Now DrKnown with a clean possession. Nush will have 100 in net. Lean back from DrKnown. Nush is up high, and then he places the ball right where he was after forcing him to come off the back wall to try and make a play on the ball. There's no way he's going to be able to float there. At least that's DrKnown's plan. And it's crossbar down and in as well. Perfection from him, as this game is going to come down to the wire, it would seem. All the way to the end of the series. DrKnown can't bump Nush and can't get back to this ball in time. Nush just barely crossbar down and in. The kickoff has been in his favor and might just be the difference here in the whole series. Delay kickoff from DrKnown. Wave dash. Can't make the save. Nush with the big win. Does not go wave dash. Gets there early. Gets goal side. Slams it into the corner. And DrKnown just a little bit ahead of himself. Now he's going to need 2 kickoff goals to prevent the reverse sweep. DrKnown trying to reverse off this one to be able to chip it back on target. He has the ball near the net, but it's not going to happen. He might get one more. Nope. Nush will not even allow that to happen. The game could end 6-9 if Nush wants to go score it. He says no to GG's. He's not letting DrKnown end the game. It is not over. Will we get the celebratory pogo before the ball hits the ground this time? Or will these guys just keep the ball up forever and keep us hostage? You don't know why Feer was confused about the odds? Well, I knew Nush. I said Nush was the favorite, so at the end of the day, I said the odds were actually pretty good. But maybe you were confused. Why I was confused when DrKnown was up 2-0, when the predictors actually knew all along. We might be getting held hostage, chat. Do I need to join in and go try and take the ball from them? Buffalo! Maybe the tier 1 for 20 minutes. We're hostages PogChamp. For 20 minutes. I mean, 20 months. 20 months is a little bit longer than 20 minutes. How long do you think these guys could keep it up if I was trying to make them make it hit the ground? Surely 1 second, right? I would destroy them. GG's, thanks for playing. Thanks for the invite. I didn't invite you. you invited me. Thank you for the invite, Nush. I'm glad you played, don't get me wrong, but it was your great idea, not mine.